welcome to another video. I've had quite a few of you recently asking if I can do a instructional video on the Quest Q30, how you set it up, what the menus do, and so on. There's a lot of you who are new to detecting who have bought the Quest Q30, and rightly so, it's a great machine, and you'll have seen that in reviews and other videos that I've done. So all we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to set it up, what the basic menus and buttons and functions do, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, so let's take a look at the Quest Q30. First things we need to do is turn it on, so we can just push the menu button, push it down for about a second and release it, and it'll turn itself on. On the side here, we've got the volume buttons, so we can turn the volume up and down throughout its sort of 15 levels of volume, or if we turn it all the way down, we can then select the vibrate mode if you want the vibrate mode. We've got the two cursors here that allow us to scroll through different settings. The main menu button, the accept reject button, and then down here we have the ground balance button, and then here we have the pinpoint button, so you can push and hold that to help pinpoint the target. Along the bottom here we've got a few options, so we've got the different setting modes, and then above that we've got the detector modes. To change detector mode, all you need to do is hold down on the ground balance button and then use the cursors to scroll along to whichever one you want, so whether you want park, field, gold, so on and so forth. As you can see, I'm in field just now. That's one of my preferred settings. Here we have, if I push the menu button once, it'll then highlight the Exclude Id, and what that's there for is it allows us to then, using the cursors, we can scroll along and we can notch out anything that we don't want. So you can see here, I've got it notched out at 40. To bring that back or notch it out, all I'm going to do is scroll up until I'm on the 40, press accept reject button, and you can see I've knocked that out. So what we could use that for, if you're in a field that might have a lot of foil, for example, and it's coming in around 40 to 44, you can scroll up, so push the menu button, scroll up to 40 for example, hit the accept reject button, and you can see it's blocked out. And if I want to go another few notches, I can go the one above it, hit the accept reject button, and therefore anything within that range there, it won't pick up on. To reinstate that, all I'm going to do is bring it back, press accept reject button, go down once more and highlight that one, accept reject button, and that is now cleared out of there. So it's quite a simple process if you want to start notching things out. Carrying on then, we can go along, we can go to the tone setting. So in the field mode we've got the choice of 3 tones or 4 tones. If we're in the park mode, you can have 2, 3 and 4, and you can have pitch. And pitch is just like a linear tone that will get stronger with the depending on how good the signal is, or weaker as well. Carrying on from there, here we have the iron volume. Now it's not an iron bias setting, all it is an iron volume. I have mine turned quite far down, but we can turn the iron volume right up, should we want to, up to 5, and you'll get a real strong tone when you go over the iron. I like to keep it a little bit quieter because it's quite overpowering when it's turned up, so I like it a bit further down, sort of around about the 1 and the 2, so I can hear it in the background, but it's not masking anything else. If you find yourself in a really iron infested area, it might be worth turning up the iron volume just so that it's not trying to cancel it out and then masking some of those faint targets like a hammered coin that might be hiding down there underneath the iron. Ground balance, you've got a few options with the ground balance. To ground balance the machine, you can just push and hold and then pump the coil, and there you can see it's grabbed a ground balance of 37. What you can also do is you can manually change it using the cursors, or whilst you're in the ground balance mode, let's come back into ground balance, you can hold down the ground balance button and you can press the menu button. I'm trying to do this one-handed and it's not really working. You can see I've got tracking on or tracking off. All tracking does is it'll just constantly keep setting the ground balance to how the machine likes it. If you're in really varying terrain, it might be worth using it. I tend on all machines not to use tracking. I like to have a manual ground balance, and then every now and again as I move along throughout the day, I'll just grab a quick ground balance with it. Pinpointing, really easy. I don't even use the pinpoint function on this. You can see just down there to the right of my coil, I've got a Vicky sixpence down there. But all we need to do, you can see it's alarming on that. We can just hold the pinpoint button. And you'll see it getting stronger as I get over it. If I move away, it'll disappear. And as I get to the 0, I know I'm over the target. Another way of doing it as well, obviously once it's under the ground, is you can sweep backwards and forwards, start to pick up the tone, and then edge it back. As the tone disappears, you know you're on the edge of the coil. Then we can go forward. As it disappears, we know we're at the back of the coil, so somewhere in between will be your target. Field modes, it's up to you. The park mode tends to work better in trashy environments. Field is the one I like. It seems to be a bit sort of bit more hot, and I like it like that way. I like to hear what's going on. How I have it set up in terms of sensitivity, so to adjust the sensitivity here, you can see at the moment it's up at 97. I'll run the sensitivity as high as I can get away with, and you've got up to 99 and down to 0. I'll start off around about 95, and if it's really sort of starting to chatter and get a bit too chirpy, I'll then just start to notch it back until it settles down. Lowering the sensitivity doesn't tend to affect the depth too much, so don't be scared of cranking down the sensitivity if you're in a really busy environment. If you're picking up EMI, or you might be near some power lines or another detector and it's starting to get quite chattery, what we can do is we can hold down on the ground balance button, holding the ground balance button, using the volume buttons. I'll see if I can do it one-handed. There you go. We can do a frequency shift, as you can see there, and all that does is just small incremental shifts in the frequency to find a setting that's a bit quieter, and it's not hopefully going to be too annoying as you're detecting along. Really a handy little option that, and I use it quite a lot. Electric fences, at the moment I'm not too far from electric fence. Most detectors will really struggle to get rid of that sort of pulsing signal that you're going to get from electric fence. Your only option really is just move yourself further away from the electric fence. So apart from that, as a quick recap, we turn it on. We grab a quick ground balance by pushing on the ground balance button and pumping the coil until you hear it beep and you know you've grabbed your ground balance. Or, as I mentioned, you can push the ground balance button and adjust it manually, or by holding the ground balance and pressing the menu button, we can select it to go to ground tracking. Once you've done that and you've selected your detector mode, it's just a case of getting out there and having fun with the machine. If you get to the point where you think, I have no idea what I've just done, I've messed up all the settings, push and hold the menu button. You'll see the screen cycle through, and that'll do a factory reset, and it'll set it back to factory settings, and you can start again. If I've missed anything, or if there's anything else you want me to cover, then stick it in the comments below. If you want to read some more detailed reviews about the Quest or other metal detectors, then you can go along to otis88metaldetecting.com. That's where I do all my blogs, the written reviews and the more detailed. Or in fact, if you want to see what my Q30 and Q60 are finding, or other metal detectors, come along to Hidden History Hunters on Facebook and have a look at our group there, and you'll get to see other guys using these machines, and then lots of other machines as well. If you need anything else, if you want to have any other instructional type videos, just let me know and I'll do my best to get them to you. Until then, take care.